After playing Nightreign for over 20 hours, I can confidently say that you need to avoid this game if you don't have friends to play it with. I know this might come as heartbreaking news to some Elden Ring fans. After all, 45% of players on Steam have sunk over 100 hours into the game, and as one of those people, I feel like I need to tell you that you shouldn't bother picking up Nightreign. If you haven't been paying attention to Nightreign, it's a 3-player co-op roguelike game that uses Elden Ring as a base. So you know how in Elden Ring, it's all about discovering new areas, fighting off against bosses, and building up your character with level ups and equipment? Nightreign condenses that experience, setting you on expeditions that can last up to an hour. These expeditions are split across 3 days, with the final day culminating in a fight against the Night Lord, which is a really big boss. While this might sound great, Nightreign has not been built for solo players, and it punishes you heavily if you try to tackle the game on your own. First off, the game doesn't scale to your party size, so when you play solo, enemies deal the same amount of damage as they do when you have a full squad. This basically makes the game impossible to play for all but the most hardcore Souls fans who have spent their entire lives preparing for this very moment. For everyone else, you have no chance. And to be fair to From, it's not like you need to play with people you know. The game does offer you the option to play with random people. The only problem with randoms is that they aren't great and you aren't always going to have a good time. This is made worse by the lack of communication options in Nightreign. There's no way to talk to your teammates other than through emotes. There's no text or voice chat, leaving you to rely entirely on markers. And if someone in your party leaves, the game doesn't adapt to help the remaining players. I found this to be quite strange, as the tutorial section clearly shows there are AI companions, but the game never lets you use one when you play on your own. I'm sure most of you know how difficult it is to convince just one of your mates to play games with you, let alone 2. To make matters worse, the game doesn't support crossplay, so you better hope your friends are all playing on the same platform. And remember, this is Elden Ring, so it's not like you can play it casually every now and then. Nightreign requires you to lock in, forcing you to come up with strategies for each of the Night Lords by establishing an optimal route, and you gotta acquire weapons and tools to target the final boss on each run. This type of experience suits Battle Royale fans, where lots of elements change every time you play. I mean, it even features the Night's Tide, and you might know it as the Storm from Fortnite or the Ring from Apex Legends. I don't think there's a massive overlap between Souls fans and Battle Royale fans, and why would there be? You're never rushed when you play Elden Ring. You're supposed to take your time exploring every new area, and of course, you've got to repeat the same boss fight so you can master them. Nightreign goes against that ethos entirely, and while I commend From for trying something very different, there will be a lot of disappointed Elden Ring fans who pick this up based on the game's name alone. I think the biggest problem with Nightreign is that you need all the stars to align in order to enjoy it properly. It's one thing when everyone reviewing the game is playing it for work purposes, where they're being matched with like-minded individuals, but that isn't going to be the case when the game officially launches. You're going to be paired up with people who won't hesitate to quit in the middle of an expedition. And it also doesn't help that there aren't any punishments for behaving like this, so these people might as well re-queue in hopes of landing better teammates. I really do like Nightreign. I think it's extremely promising, and I'm glad to see From taking risks that most companies wouldn't ever think to do. With that said, I kinda wish this game launched onto Steam Early Access, as there are elements of it that could be drastically improved with just a bit of community feedback. There's still a chance some of the bigger problems get fixed down the line with updates, but even then, I don't think that this is an experience suited to solo players. Give this one a skip unless you've got people to play it with.